Hi, this is Uncle T Boxing here. And, I just woke up this morning and had a mad thought. I actually just thought, I don't mind Canelo choosing Jake Paul. I really don't. As crazy as it might sound, I honestly believe that Canelo just needs to make a mark and make a statement. Basically, choose Jake Paul and let the rest of the freeloaders just fight each other instead of just all waiting for him with minimum minimum experience. Let them all fight each other and earn the right to get a payday to win the sweepstake against Canelo. I mean, last couple of weeks we've been hearing talks about um, Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo ready to fight, and they're in talks with him trying to fight Canelo. I mean, that's funny because what was it last year when Terence Crawford must have said Canelo was avoiding black fighters, maybe black fighters who are quite dynamic or quite skillful. I mean, it would be funny if he fights Charlo next, and that would actually dispel that sort of rubbish rumor, because when he finally fights, if he finally fights Charlo, he would show the levels between them. I mean, I don't even understand why even these Americans that keep saying Jamal Charlo he's docking Jamal Charlo. What has Jamal Charlo done? What has he done for you to make him think that Canelo won't want to fight him? That would be an easy day for, I believe, for Canelo. I mean, what's his best win? I don't even think his best win is at middleweight. I think his best win is against Julian Williams at 154. That was a close fight till he knocked out Julian Williams in the fifth round with that. That was a nice highlight reel knockout. I mean, when Jamal Williams tried to throw a right hand in, he just turned his shoulder he turned his shoulder, caught with a jab with the same hand, threw an uppercut and caught Jamal Williams, J-Rock, and knocked him out. That was good. Then he's moved up to middleweight, Jamal Charlo, and he fought a guy called Contino for the world title. That guy came in with one leg. It was actually a disgrace they actually staged that fight. It reminded me of when Miguel Cotto fought Garcia. Not Garcia, what's his name? The Spanish guy. That will come up to me. Sergio Martinez? Is that his name? The middleweight. And he was just basically riddled with injuries. That's who that's the sort of level Jamal Charlo fought to win the world title. And what's his best win at 160 at middleweight? I would say Derevyanchenko. And Derevyanchenko is just, if you go to his record, he's lost the last three fights. His last fight he fought against Carlos Adames. And Carlos had to come from 154 to fight Derevyanchenko, and he lost in a majority decision. So I mean, Jamal Charlo, I'm not trying to water down Jamal Charlo's achievement, but Canelo is elite. And Jamal Charlo has never even fought at 160. He's done nothing at 160. His best win is 2 divisions below. And for him to go up to fight Canelo at 168, where he looks like an absolute beast, that fight wouldn't go the distance, in my opinion. And, these guys, they need to fight each other. I mean, Jamal Charlo could fight Andrade. I know the different side of the street and whatnot, but they could try and work something. They both need each other. The winner could stake a claim to I've beaten Jamal, could say I've beaten Andrade. Andrade could say I've beaten Jamal Charlo. And Canelo, you've been docking me for 154 and 160. Now I'm going to come out 168 after beating Charlo. Fair enough. Talking about Andrade, I just think the Leon Williams exposed a little bit is getting on in thing. I did think Canelo maybe slightly avoided him at 154 and 160. But 168, if Andrade goes up to 168 to fight Canelo, he's getting stopped. He's getting stopped. I mean, GGG and Andrade, the same side of the street, DAZN, they should fight each other. They should fight each other. I mean, I understand GGG, well, it's going to be 40 this year. You could just tell by his record now. He's just trying to get the easiest fights he could get till he gets that Canelo fight. You know, he's not interested in fighting the likes of Andrade, awkward, southpaw. You know, I feel sorry for Andrade, but when he's had to fight guys where he had to blow them over, he didn't. He did well against Leon Williams, a good start, and the last guy fought, I'm just forgetting the Irish guy's name. I know you can remember Irish guy's name. I keep forgetting names. That's why I even got my notepad with me, so I could jot certain things. I could just look at that and it just remind me of certain things. I've not looked at it now, but yeah. Now, who's the other guys that I'm thinking about? Let's think about the guys at super middleweight. There is super middleweight. Benavidez is another guy. I mean, Benavidez is his own worst enemy. Losing world title twice, the WBC, one for recreational drugs and the second one for not making weight. I think he's too big for that weight. Who has he fought in the last couple of fights? Kieran Davis and Ronald Ellis. I mean, Kieran Davis is a middleweight really, and he's had to go up to fight Benavidez at 169. He didn't even fight him at 168. And Ronald Ellis in his last fight got beaten up by a guy called Christian Millie from Cameroon, who fights at middleweight and super middle. I mean, so is this the sort of caliber Benavidez is fighting to say he wants for people to start screaming his name, saying Canelo, Canelo? I mean, and now the talks of him having to fight Lemieux next. Lemieux that few years, what was it? Was it 5 years ago that Billy Joe toyed with him? And before that, couple of years before that, GGG stopped him in within 6 rounds. So is that the guy who Benavidez is fighting next to prepare him for an elite fighter like Canelo? How does that make sense? I actually feel sorry for Canelo, because if Canelo fights Benavidez and makes light work of it, people water it down like, oh, they look at Benavidez' record. Oh, look who was he for anyway. Like, no, let's talk about it now. Why do they deserve Canelo? Let's talk about it now. Not till after Canelo makes easy work out of them. Then we start looking down at their records like, oh, Callum Smith, oh, yeah, he lost to John Ryder, and before that, you know, he fought a wounded Groves. No, let's look at their record now before we start saying Canelo needs to fight this, Canelo needs to fight that. Canelo can't just do all the work, fighting everyone one by one. I mean, Benavidez is the same, is in the same street as Jamal Charlo. They could both fight each other. Callum Plant, they could fight Callum Plant. You know, they could still make a pay-per-view. They could still make money. Why do they have to wait for Canelo? They let them get the experience. I'm tired of ill-equipped, in terms of experience, fighters coming in to fight Canelo and making it easy for him, so it just walks through them. Moving on to super heavy. Dimitri Bivol against Gilberto Ramirez makes sense. Same side of the street. DAZN. I know it's a matchroom against Golden Boy, but DAZN should stamp their feet like, listen, we're the one paying for this. We want Canelo to fight on our stable, so you two will have to fight so we could draw Canelo back to us, to our network, to our platform. This is your money, Gilberto Ramirez. This is your money, Bivol. Fight. Fight each other, and let's see. The winner could stake a claim to fight Canelo. Crossing the street, Top Rank, Sky Sports, ESPN, Joe Smith Jr., who just fought his mandatory, a guy who shouldn't have been there with him. Perfect time to fight Beterbiev, who's just got a win against his mandatory as well. Both of you fight each other. Top Rank, same side of the streets. Let's make this fight happen. I mean, I wouldn't even mind Canelo even moving up to the cruiserweight and just fight the slow, ponderous Makabu, while the rest of the other guys just sort each other out and start fighting each other. But Makabu, I mean, he would fight him at 190, not 200 things. So yeah, he should just use that May to fight those gimme sort of fights and let the rest of the other guys fight each other. I mean, it makes sense for Canelo to fight Jake Paul. I know the reason is so Maris Bradis, should stop looking like an idiot begging for a fight against Jake Paul. You know, and let him fight Okoli for the unification. I think Eddie Hearn should stop focusing on part-timers like Micah Garcia and Jesse Vargas and put that money and invest on his cruiserweight world champion, Lawrence Okoli. Invest in him. Give Maris Bradis that money so he could stop looking like an idiot, making fake tattoos, and let's have a unification fight against Lawrence Okoli. Let's see who the best is at cruiserweight. You know? Mukabu, let him do whatever he wants to do. He's got to fight against that Chunuv guy. I mean, and the last reason why I want Canelo to fight Jake Paul is basically earn one of the pay-per-view numbers is going to be sick, and just once and for all get rid of Jake Paul. He needs to get rid of. You know, just totally just destroy him, break something, his face, his ribs, whatever Canelo likes to do to his opponents lately. Just do something and let him just pack off and, you know, stick to promoting, let Jake Paul just pack off, stick to promoting Amanda Serrano for the lovely fight against Katie Taylor. But we talk about other fights. The next one that's been bothering me are the light heavyweights in our domestic scene in Britain. I mean, if you look at the top 7, top 8, I mean, we could do with like a Premier League sort of style. Let these guys all fight each other instead of everyone waiting in line to fight for a world title. Let's see who the best in Britain. And I'm not buying all this Callum Smith is past. He's moved up to a new weight. Let's find out. Let the other guys in Britain fight him. You know, sometimes I know I like boxers getting the most money they can because this is a dangerous sport, but money is like almost ruin the competitiveness. Everyone are just waiting. They just want to fight whatever target just to reach for. The name of the game is fight who I have to fight that would lead me to a world title shot. And that is like the domestic scene is suffering from it. None of them has fought for a European title, and they all claim to be world level fighters, light heavyweights. But that's a discussion for another day. If you like what subscribe, like, share, and you know, I might send this to Fight Disciples as part of like my interview to them, just to show them my boxing knowledge as well. But yeah, thanks for listening. Uncle T signing out.